Bestie, welcome to the first video of 2026, and it's only right that we start the year off with a bookish reset for January. I'm so scared. I cannot believe we are into 2026 already. It's actually crazy, but we need to start off the year with a little reset so that we can feel fresh and ready. I'm actually filming this on the 1st of Jan, so happy new year. I'm so excited for a new year. I have a really good feeling about this one. I don't want to jinx it, but I just feel like we're gonna have a good year. In this video, we're gonna be going over my 2026 bookish goals because I do have a few goals that I want to accomplish this year. I've also been very busy making myself a little digital reading journal on Notion, so I thought we could go through that and start updating it. I've also pre-filmed my January TBR, which was supposed to be a standalone video, but then when I edited it all, it was too short for an actual video. So we're going to insert the clips in here, go over what my TBR is going to be for this year, and then to finish off, we'll probably do a little bit of reading. Okay, so then let's start off with going through my 2026 bookish goals. I feel like you're really high up and I don't like it. Let's just put you down a bit. There you go. That's better. I feel like I was looking up at you. Okay, so my first, I'm trying to make sure my laptop doesn't fall off the bed. Right, okay, so the first goal that I have 1, 2, 3, 4. I have 4 goals that I want to achieve this year, and the first one is that I want to read 60 books. Now, you might have seen that I made a shorts video all about this already, and that last year I actually read, I think, let's actually look at the stats because they'll be up now because it's the 1st of Jan. So the grand total was 109 books, and it actually had a goal to read 103. So I definitely surpassed that goal. But I do think that like throughout the year, I just felt that I was putting a lot of pressure on myself to read, and I felt like I was rushing through all of these books and then immediately moving on to the next one without having like a little bit of time to sit and think about the books that I was reading. And I don't really want to do that going into this year. So we need to take the pressure out of reading. And also on that point, like, reading should be fun. It shouldn't feel like a chore. It shouldn't feel like something that we have to do. Okay, so goal number 2 is I really want to meet a bookish bestie in real life. So I have met so many lovely girls through this bookish community that I have on all 3 of my platforms, and I talk to so many lovely girls pretty much every day, and I really want to meet at least one of them in real life. I also really want to go to some sort of like bookish event. I don't have any particular events in mind that I want to go to because I know there's like, I don't know, what is it, like Rare last year, Rare Books, like I don't know if there's anything like that coming up this year. I don't know if that's a yearly thing, but I would really like to go to or be invited to like a bookish event because I've never done that before. I didn't even know that they existed until last year, so I think that would be super fun and I'd love to go to one. And then the last goal on my list, I want to continue posting bookish content and grow my community. So those are my 2026 bookish goals. Let me know if you've got any bookish goals as well. Drop them in the comments. Now would be a really good time to go through my January TBR. So I'm going to insert the clips where I went through my TBR jar and I picked out, I think it was 4 books for January. So I'm going to insert those clips here. Today we're going to be letting this small little TBR jar pick my reads for January. So we are going to be using the prompts inside this jar to pick 4 books that I have to read this month. Here goes. First prompt. A new to me author. This is such a good one. I actually have the perfect book for this. Oh my god, I'm actually excited. For this prompt, I have chosen to read 6 of Crows by Leigh Bardugo. I never know if I'm saying that name right, but this has been on my TBR since Christmas last year, and I have been dying to read it because it's quite like a dark, and I don't even know if it is like a dark fantasy book or whatever, but it really feels to me like it needs to be read in winter. So I feel like January is going to be the perfect time to read this book. A book published in the last 5 years. I'm gonna have to go and look through all the publication dates in all my book. This might take me a while. I have chosen to read The Spell Shop. So this is a book that Alex actually bought me for Christmas, and I've been dying to read it. It feels really cozy. So I think winter is gonna be a really good time to read this book. So this is book number 2. This one is trying to come out, so we're gonna go with this one. The Fate Has Decided. What does that say? A non-fiction book. Okay, this one actually scares me a little bit because I haven't read a non-fiction book in the longest time. So I ended up choosing this book, which is You Are a Badass, How to Stop Doubting Your Greatness and Start Living an Awesome Life. I'm a little bit scared to read this because, like I said, I haven't read a non-fiction book in the longest time, but I really feel like actually if I'm gonna read this book, January is the month to do it, because then we'll be starting the year with good vibes and good energy. So this is the third book we will be reading in the month of Jan. Okay, this is the last prompt that we are going to be picking from the jar. Let's see what we get. Read a book on your TBR with the longest title. Ooh. Okay, let's have a look. Okay, so for this last one, I have chosen Love Letters to a Serial Killer by Tasha Coriel. So this could be quite a fun one. I have had this on my TBR for a little while, but I haven't read it yet. But I do think this could be quite a nice, light-hearted, fun read to go with the rest of my books. So I think this one will be quite a good pick. So just to wrap up then, what books I'm going to be reading in Jan. We are going to be reading Six of Crows by Leigh Bardugo. I do actually have the second book to this, so maybe if we get time we can read the second book as well. We'll also be reading The Spell Shop, which is another cozy, cute fantasy. We've got our only non-fiction book of the month, which is You Are a Badass, which I think is going to set me up for a really good year. And then lastly, we have Love Letters to a Serial Killer. I do actually think I have quite a good lineup for this month, and if you do want to see me reading any of these, I film quite a lot of reading vlogs over on my channel, so make sure you are subscribed. Hello, welcome back to the present day. Okay, so in those clips, I actually didn't mention this because, as I said, I pre-filmed that video and we hadn't picked January's book club book yet. But I'm actually so excited and so scared about the book club pick for this month. I'm going to show you exactly what it is. Okay, are you ready? Because I'm so scared. We are going to be reading Alchemize together, and she's huge, okay? She's absolutely massive. So I'm really glad that we only picked 4 books from the TBR jar for January, because I don't know how I'm going to get through this massive 1,000-page book. I'm also so excited and so glad that I'm going to be reading this with the club, because I've seen so many people find this book so literally heart-wrenching, and I think I'm going to need the emotional support of the girls to be able to get through this book. So very happy that this was the choice for book club. Okay, shall we go through my 2026 reading journal on my Notion? I'm going to screen record my laptop, and I'll pop it on the screen here so you can see my screen as we go through my reading journal. I'm literally so excited to show you this because I spent hours on it and I've never had a reading journal before, but I've always wanted one. Okay, so this is my reading journal. I've got a little bit of a navigation here on this side with some different options. The first one is my physical and Kindle TBR, because even though I have my books up here, I still kind of get lost with what I've got, and there's obviously like 2 layers to my TBR shelf, and then I never really look at my Kindle and see what I've got on there. And I do actually have a folder on my Kindle for my TBR, but it gets confusing, so I just wanted it in one place. I'll just go through the homepage first and then we'll go into the different like sections of my reading journal. Then I've got my series tracker, because who else is actually guilty of starting so many series and then never finishing them and then forgetting what series that I've actually started reading. So this is a section where I can keep all of that in one place. Then I've got my 26 books to read in 2026, just so I can tick them off as we go throughout the year and see which ones I actually get to and which ones I don't. I'm going to have a section for, by the way, just before we continue, I haven't actually finished this yet, so this is still very much a work in progress. There are sections that have not been made yet, including this 5-star section here, but I just thought it would be really nice to be able to have a place where I can see all of the books that I rate 5 stars in this year. And then I also have a DNF list as well, so I can keep somewhere where I can look back on the books that I didn't finish reading. This may change as we kind of go on through the year. I might move things around and add stuff to that. Part of the reason I wanted it digitally was so that I could go in and change stuff without like ruining the book, because I am terrible for ripping things out of pages if it's not neat enough, so I just didn't want any of that stress. And then this bit here, I actually have a rating system. Now, I've never had a rating system before, but this is basically how I actually rate my books. So just in case any of you are interested, 1 star, I never really give books a 1 star unless I DNF it. I don't normally rate books that I DNF, but if I do DNF it, it's probably going to be a 1 star. 2 stars it was okay, but I wouldn't read it again. 3 stars is I liked it, but it wasn't a standout. And then 4 stars is I really enjoyed this book. And then 5 stars is that I absolutely loved it, or it gave me that kind of like 5-star feeling. I do generally rate my books based on feelings rather than being quite critical about it, because I actually just read for enjoyment. I don't read to provoke thought or whatever. I read for escapism mainly. So my rating system is very much based on how I feel. That's just me personally. I would love to know what your rating system is, by the way, because I'm always intrigued about how other people rate their books. And then I've just got a nice little section here for my 2026 bookish goals, which we already went over, so I can tick them off. And then, as I said, it's not a finished product yet, but down here I'm going to have my monthly TBR, so we can probably add that together, because obviously we know which books we're going to be reading for January, so we can add January's TBR here. And then going into my physical and Kindle TBR section, I've actually not finished this, so maybe this is something that we can actually do today, is work on my journal. But the physical and Kindle TBR section, these are all of the books that are on my Kindle TBR, because I didn't finish adding the physical ones yet. So we have quite a few books on here. I'm actually kind of scared to see how many books I'm gonna have, so we'll probably come back to this later to add our physical books in there. And then series tracker, I've just written it out in like this. I haven't added the pictures of the books because I thought it would be easier to be able to tick off the ones that I've read. And then obviously the 26 books and the 26, these are all of the books that I want to read this year. So yeah, that's my reading journal. Obviously we do need to finish it. That'll probably be something that I do today. I think what we should do now is we should go through the physical books that I have on my TBR and add them to my reading journal. Day. I feel like yesterday was so productive and we got our reading journal set up and I did all of those like little things, but like today I really just want to like sit down and read. I've actually only just got back from work. Well, not long got back from work. I had a bit of like doom scrolling time, and now it is time to pick up my book, which is City of Smoke and Brimstone by Kayla Edwards. And this is book 4 in the House of Devil series, and it is currently the last book that is out in the series so far, and I'm devastated by that because this book is so good. But there are 2 more coming, I believe, so that's okay. I will allow. I don't think she's actually written book 5 yet, so yeah, I don't know how long we're gonna have to wait for that, but I'm very excited to be reading this book. I'm 41% of the way through this book so far, and honestly we have not been able to catch a break. Like, it has just constantly been action, 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 action. Like, there's just been something happening the whole way through so far, and it's making it feel so easy to read. I'm getting through it so quick because I'm like, oh my god, I need to know what happens. Like, I stayed up so late reading this last night and I should have been in bed because I had to get up at 4:30. Anyway, I'm gonna stop rambling about it because I'm actually going to sit and do some reading. So let's start reading. I'm so excited. Also, I love my new Kindle stickers. I keep looking at them in the viewfinder. I'll link them down below because I got them from Amazon. Apart from this one here, this one is from Flowers on Sunday. But yeah, the rest of them are shoppable through that link. So yeah, I'm just obsessed. Anyway, I'm going to shut up. I'm going to read. Let's go read. I'm so excited. Decaf coffee is made and I've got my Kindle right here. I don't have a specific amount of pages that I actually want to read right now, but I think I'm going to read for about an hour and a half and then go out for a walk because I do that every Monday evening. So I think I'm just going to see how much I can read without rushing, because obviously, as I said at the beginning of this video, this year I really just want to focus on slowing down and enjoying the books that I read instead of feeling like I need to rush through them, even though I kind of want to finish this ASAP because I've seen some of the girls already start reading Alchemized and I really want to join in. So that will be the book that I read next, I think. But anyway, we're going to sit down and read some of this now. I need to stop yapping and start reading. Oh, I love this. I love the characters so much. I feel like Kayla Edwards has written them so well, and they have such a sense of like found family, and I think that is like one of my favourite things to read about. I just love it so much, and I think it's been done really well throughout this series. Not gonna lie, I've been doom doom scrolling for ages. I feel like I'm just too tired to read. I've been up since 4:30 in the morning. I'm on page 329, 44% of the way through. So I have read a fair bit, but I think I'm just gonna get in the shower now and start winding down for the evening, because clearly I need to have a little bit of a break. But I just wanted to say a massive thank you if you are still watching this video, and I hope that you enjoyed it. Next week's video, we are going to be doing a bookish weekend together, which is one of my favorite videos to film. So I hope that I see you there, and yeah, have a lovely day. Thank you for recessing with me. Bye.